Welcome to the Helm video series. So what we're looking at here is the dashboard page for the HavilahCorp Enterprise Land Manager, or what we call Helm in short. There's a number of widgets. There's a few options on the left-hand side here for land units, projects, stakeholders, workflows, and so on. And there's also a set, or two different widgets at the moment on the home page, the land units that are expiring. So I've got several that are pending renewal. I have a number that are past expiry, so I haven't been keeping up my land management duties. In this case, I have 9 that are expiring the next 60 days and 29 that are expiring the next 90 days. I also have a summary of all the workflows, so I've got 4 work report workflows that are in progress. I have 4 that are pending renewal, 8 credit distributions in progress, and again 3 pending renewal, and so on. So over the course of the video series, we'll go into each one of the different workflows and talk about what they do. But one of the key pieces for Helm is understanding the concept of a land unit. So if I take a look and click on what it's expiring in the next 90 days, I've got 29 land units here. Now, a land unit is that smallest piece of land that the land manager or the mining company is concerned with. So that could be a claim, it could be a lease, a license of occupation, for example, a patent, and so on. So when we talk about land units, it's all of the variety of different types of land that you are, as a land manager, are managing and that the mining company has an interest in. So if I take a look here, we've got land unit 4146. It's an Ontario claim. It's active, and it's set to the anniversary date is May 26, 2014. So that's the next time it's coming up for renewal. So I either have to do some work on it and apply work through a work report, or I could do a credit distribution and so on. Well, we'll get into that in future video series. Right now, I'm just going to click Edit. And so we can see Helm is set up automatically to capture the most relevant information for the land manager about the individual land unit. So here we can see the reference number, a description if there was a description, the status, so it's an active mining claim. We are the operator on this particular claim, so that means we're responsible for all the management on it. We could assign it to a mining division if we liked, so the mining divisions for the province of Ontario are all loaded in because it's an Ontario claim. We're only showing you the relevant information for the province. We could also indicate if we have surface rights or mining rights, so I can click off mining rights to indicate that I have mining rights on this particular claim. We can see when it was staked, when it was recorded, the anniversary date of the claim, as well as the work required, so we can see here that we have $800 worth of work that is required, and that it's a 2-unit claim. We have a full mapping system built in, so we can see the actual spatial orientation of this claim, as well as the list of coordinates. So these coordinates are consistent with the Ministry of Northern Development and Mines website, so that you have an easy reconciliation between what you're looking at here and the list of coordinates. We can also highlight adjacent claims, so we can see the claim number here, and it has quite a bit of reserve on it, $96,000 plus dollars. I can zoom out a little bit, and I can see additional claims. So here we have no reserve on this one, no reserve on this one, but I can see all of the claims as I hover over with the map. We can tie the land units to projects. We can attach stakeholders, we can upload documents, and we can also upload comments. So the key is with Helm is the capacity to store the land information and then tie it to the stakeholders that have an interest in that land, as well as a set of documents. These could be the staking documents, taxation documents, work reports, credit distribution reports. You can upload all of this information against the underlying land unit itself. We also have a transactions tab, so we can see that it was created, when that land unit was created, and who created it, as well as a full breakdown of everything that has occurred on this particular land unit. We have a projects tab, so inside of the projects we can see we've got a number of different projects in here. We'll just click edit on a given project, and we can see that we have the reference number, jurisdiction, so again these are Ontario. The types of the claims, a lease, 0 hectare lease, so we should change that. So I can easily update this. I'm just going to copy this particular value, and I can go into the land units here, and I can search for an individual land unit. So I want to find that particular lease. Just click Apply Filters, and I can get to that lease itself. Now this one, there has been no work done on the lease, so the government has not created a disposition record for it yet. But if I know the acres, I could say it's maybe it's a 15 hectares. So I could say it's a 15 hectare lease. I could also digitize in on the map where it is. I'm not going to do that at the moment. We'll do that in a future video series on how to work with the map. I'll just click Save and Finish. I can go back to the projects in this case, click Edit, and I can see that the size is automatically being updated. So full, live, living system, everything is updated at all times. Again, as we go to land, we have a map tab, so I can attach the different geographies to this particular project. I can look at stakeholders, so if I want to attach stakeholders to a given project, so maybe I have a company that's optioning in or has surface rights interests in this particular area, I could add them in this place. Documents again, and comments, so I could add comments to this particular project. I can do the same with stakeholders, so I can add additional stakeholders. I can also add as many different stakeholders as I need to associate them with different land units, different projects, and so on. Click Workflows. So in the workflows, we have the ability to add historic work to claims, leases, patents, and so on. We have workflows that will take the user through the work reporting process, the credit distribution process, the payment in lieu of assessment work, lease rental payments, lease renewal payments, patent tax payments, license of occupation annual payments, as well as the extension of time to perform and file work. So there's a whole set of workflows that a user could go through as far as managing their individual land units. All of these are structured as per the business requirements for the Ontario government, so that as you're working through these, you're generating the reports that the government is expecting to see, as well as capturing all the information that's consistent with the regulations in the province. And it's captured in a very structured, very easy to use fashion. And we'll go through in future videos, we'll go through individual workflows to show how this whole system works. I'm going to click on the Reports tab, so I can see here in the reports, I have a number of different reports that I can look at. So land units expiring the next 30, 60, 90 days, expiring this year, and expiring next year. And I'll click on the expiring next year. I can capture this as an Excel document, so I'll just click that. Helm will automatically download that to my personal computer, and I can open this in Excel. Let me just bring that over. So I can start planning my work program for next year. So I can see here I only have 23 land units that are expiring next year. So very few. I can see the unit size, or the size, the units, the hectare size, the work required, the anniversary date, any reserve that's available, and so on. We can set up email alerts, and we can capture as many different we can send out email alerts from the reports, so I can add a new email report. I can pick a land unit or the report that I want. Maybe I want to send out the land units that are expiring in 90 days. I can choose an Excel or comma-separated values file, which will open in Excel, a PDF, or an HTML file. I'll choose the CSV. And I can also set how I want it delivered. So do I want it daily, weekly, or monthly? Maybe I want this one sent out weekly, so I have a rolling 90-day plan of when I want it. I can pick the day, so I'd like it delivered on Mondays at 9 o'clock in the morning. I am automatically added And then I can add as many different recipients as I want. So I can add anybody's email address here. I can save that, and Helm will send that out. Clicking Save. I will now get a weekly summary of the lane units expiring in the next 90 days and a daily summary of those that are expiring in the next 30 days. Maybe because I have the 90-day weekly summary, I don't need this one anymore, so I'll just delete that. And it will prompt me. I'll click yes. So now I'm only going to get one email alert. So that is the basics of Helm. We have a full support system, a full help system as well. So if you click Help, it will open the help documents. And inside of the help documents, we have a number of different things, such as what is Helm, what are the basics. So if you click on what are the basics of Helm, it goes through the help file, explains what each of the individual options are, as well as a set of related articles. So how do I get a lane unit, or how do I get to the lane unit portion of Helm? So I can click on this article, and what we have inside of the document a full breakdown as well as screenshots on how you navigate the system. Thank you, and I hope you've enjoyed the brief introduction to Helm, and we'll start in future videos. We'll go through individual work reports as well as working with the lane units themselves, go through the workflows as well as working with the individual lane units themselves so that you can get a good idea of how Helm functions.